Everybody knows that we're talking about content. It's content. It's here. It's for you. In the last video that I made, we were talking about, we got this O Flame. It's got some nice hit stun value on it, meaning it leaves people open for some true combos, potentially. Charged, uncharged, both can do things. An uncharged O Flame, true combos into a straight sword R1, a fully charged O Flame, true combos into a straight sword R2, light attack and heavy attack respectively. Please, I'm just going to say R1 and R2 for my sake. Here's an invasion that happened. It was funny, it was silly, it was neat, it was good, and this is at level 140. This perfectly illustrates the problem that I have with trying to do this wacky O Flame type stuff at level 140, 125, 133, 138, whatever you choose. Everyone has some sort of sniper rifle or a shotgun or an anti-air, missile. Everyone. Of all the three people, all three of them have something. Whether it be that lightning bolt, or the falling star beast jawbone. There's something out there. It's gonna hit me. It's gonna interrupt me. It's gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. And, does this happen at level 80? Yeah, sure. Yes, it does. But it's less frequent. And so, I have decided to take this build and remake it at level 80. So let's talk about this build for just a minute. People are saying, hey, Saint, what are the stats for this build at 140? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, there's a video here on this YouTube channel that will go over the build and its stats and its talismans. Surely, but there's not. Do you know why there's not? I'll tell you. It's because when I originally made this build, I made it at level 80. And it got harder. After the 1.03 patch, it got harder to find people to invade. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go to 140. I'm going to go up. There's people playing at that level. They should have fully upgraded weapons. It shouldn't be a guessing game of whether or not I can find people. So I took the build up to 140. That was the right decision at the time. But then what happened was they gave us this new patch where you can invade anywhere in the game, and now 80 is much, it's just as active. So great, now that's back. So what we're doing is undoing a thing, basically. And what I'm getting at is there is no YouTube video going over the stats for this particular build, but it's I think like 30 dex, 50 faith, and probably 60 vigor, and then whatever else was just split between mind and endurance. Obviously I've got a little bit of endurance because that increases our equip load, and I'm wearing some heavier armor. Look at the boom, flaming strike, the running R1. We're gonna get him, but then those people show up, and what do you know? Falling star, beast, jaw, bone, just shooting up out of the ground. Just shooting up out of the ground. This other guy's got the finger, which is hilarious. I was very much looking forward to fighting the guy with the finger. When we first started this invasion, that character was running dual-wielded, power-stanced halberds, but now they've gone to the finger, which is a very fun, silly weapon, so I'm looking forward to fighting them, but that's not going to happen. I'm not just going to walk into 3 people. Look at those heavy attacks. Look at those R2s delivering righteous justice versus that poisy bully goat man. He's like, I'm wearing bully goat. You can't. And uh-oh, straight sword heavy attack broke my poise on 2 separate occasions, back to back. That's right, it did. That's right, it did. Look at it go. We love R2. We love heavy attack. We think it's so good. Light attack? Couldn't be me. This straight sword will never break my poise. Man sitting at a table, eating a bowl of cereal, wearing bull goat's armor. Next panel, R2, poise breaking. Bully goat man sitting at the table, spitting his cereal out. That's what you get. Not me in my poise slayer era with the simple R2. Bully goat man hates him. Look at this one simple trick. R2. Anyway, here it is. Here's what happens when you try and do O-Flame combos. Boom! Boom! What? Now, you might be saying, oh, those rocks sprang up out of the ground and stopped you. I call that a rock block. Hey-o! And now it's time to fight Fingerman. And not... Oh, Jawbone, here it comes. Boom. Anyway, the point is, it's really hard to get these combos off at 140. So I'm already in the process of making the build over again at level 80. And at level 80, it's pretty much all vigor, all faith. That's it. I don't think I increased strength or dex at all. Maybe a little bit of mind and maybe a little bit of endurance. It's not finalized, but I'm basically there. But, you know, in the meantime, I thought, here's some footage. It's funny. It's a funny little invasion. Boom, look at this. That axe right there with, that's the Stormcaller Ash of War. But when it's on that particular axe, it's called something else, like Thunderstorm or something. It reminds me a lot of the Dark Souls 3 Dragon Slayer axe. The axe that all the twinks used to use. Twinks being very low-level invaders. Low-level invaders used to love an axe that was very similar to that in Dark Souls 3. It did lightning. It was a lightning axe. And it just melted through people. It was an axe with innate lightning damage, and you could buff it with more lightning damage. It was just an absolute paper shredder, you know. Look at the footsies. Look at the Evo. Can we get some commentary on this from some of the champions of Evo? Can we get some fighting game tournament pro champions to commentate over this? I'm being told. Hang on, I'm getting word that no, we can't. They're all in jail for talking to children online. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, fighting game community. Uh-oh. Throwing him out. Yes, you know what I'm saying. I'll throw out some jabs. I'll throw out some jabs and some barbs. You know that I will. Shoryuken. You know? You Shoryuken. You should be spending more time. Your Shoryuken is of the age of consent. Okay, so here comes a blue because that's what they do. Bars. This is a silly video. It's fun though. It's fun. This was a really fun invasion, and it has the perfect sort of ending to it. You know, if this were 4 years ago, I would be playing the X-Files music right now at a blistering, deafening, and I would be screaming about Jillian and the eggs. But, you know, we can grow as people and learn and be born again in the loving light of God Almighty. Later, y'all.